After more than a year, it seems that the wait might be finally over, as some players are reporting that they are able to access Minecraft ray tracing on the Xbox Series X in preview. Ever since the current generation of consoles launch, players has been wondering when a ray trace supported Minecraft would be releasing. The excitement around this feature was hyped up after Xbox released what they called at the time a demo of ray tracing on the Xbox Series X. Not long after that, they quickly threw cold water on the idea of Minecraft ray tracing on Xbox by stating that the demo that we saw was only a technical demonstration to showcase Xbox graphics. Since then, fans has been hopeful that we will see the feature eventually, but as Xbox optimized one game after the other, Minecraft fans did start to lose hope that this upgraded version will ever be available for them. It is no secret that Minecraft has been stuck in the past for console players. With no frame rate boost, no optimization and no ray tracing, it is easy to understand why some players might be feeling frustrated. Now looking back, Minecraft did have a lot on their plate over the past year, with 2 major updates releasing and another one on the way. Despite this, fans has been eager to hear about ray tracing on consoles. Fast forward to yesterday, where players have started to report that they are now in fact able to access the feature in preview on the Series console, suggesting that Mojang is finally starting to roll out ray tracing. A small player base who has signed up for Minecraft preview, the replacement to Bedrock, has reported that Minecraft is showing up for them as optimized for the Xbox Series X and S. Now it should be noted that this is just an observation from some fans. No official communication has been released from Microsoft, Xbox or Mojang regarding Minecraft ray tracing on Xbox. As stated, a small handful of players can see the feature on their screen, but even a smaller handful of players can actually access it. Despite this, it does indicate that Mojang is very close to a full release or even just a beta. Players who did report that they can access the feature states that you either need to join a multiplayer game with a PC that has installed all of the necessary ray tracing packs and enable the feature, or by creating a new world and accessing ray tracing toggle. Based on the article that I'm quoting from Windows Central, who has been doing a great job keeping all of the fans up to date on this topic, they did state that they are unable to verify any of the claims. Despite being rolled in the preview program and following all of the steps, the feature cannot be accessed and it does not show up as optimized for the Xbox Series X. Now despite all of this, there are enough people reporting this to be comfortable that the story is in fact true and players are actually having access to the feature. Therefore, now that we have reports of players having access to ray tracing on their consoles, the next question will obviously be when we can expect to see a full release for everybody. Unfortunately, there is no easy way of answering this question. Many, including myself, have tried to speculate, but none have been correct this far. Despite not looking like it, Minecraft can be an extremely resource intensive game. If you want to play it on PC with all of the features enabled, a proper graphics card will be needed. If you want to play it with ray tracing enabled, you will need an even better graphics card, and if you want to play it in full 4K and hit a consistent frame rate, a really good graphics card will be needed, and even then it will be hard to hit a consistent 60 frames. Now Nvidia was the first to enable this feature on PC, and thus they did have a little bit more time to work out some of the kinks. The solution that they came up with to combat frame rate drops was called DLSS. Now DLSS stands for Deep Learning Super Sampling. It is a type of video rendering technique that looks to boost frame rates by rendering frames at a lower resolution, then display and use deep learning, a type of AI, to upscale the frames so that they look as sharp as expected at a native resolution. Eventually, it will make higher frame rates more attainable without upgrading your hardware and give you access to sharper image quality. Now, how does all of that fit into ray tracing on Xbox? Well, in order to run it on the Xbox Series X, a stable frame rate will be needed. needed. Although Xbox is powerful, some sort of other stabilizer will be needed as well. Xbox is not powered by Nvidia, and instead they make use of AMD's GPUs, and for the longest time AMD did not have their own DLSS alternative. Because of this, many believe that we would not see ray tracing for Minecraft until they did have their own solution. Xbox does enable some path tracing and ray tracing for certain games, but some features are definitely downscaled and most are not at 4K. Games that are at 4K has very limited features enabled, but AMD has since stepped up their game heavily and announced Fidelity FX, the DLSS alternative. Now Fidelity FX, much like DLSS, is an image quality toolkit that developers use to optimize their games. Games that completely support Fidelity FX does have the benefit of HDR mappers, screen space reflections, construct adaptive sharpening and more. Now it was after this announcement and the release of this feature that fans started to regain hope that Minecraft ray tracing on Xbox was now very much a strong possibility. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be, and we never saw the feature during the lifespan of Fidelity FX 1.0. Now luckily the story did not end there, and AMD announced their Fidelity Super Resolution 2.0 that promise even better performance and will be out for Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S players.
Really excited to be here with you today to share some updates we have around our super resolution technologies. As you may recall, in June of 2021, AMD introduced our brand new in-game upscaling feature called AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution, or FSR for short. This feature was highly praised for its outstanding performance, broad compatibility, and ease of implementation it delivered to supported games. In fact, FSR is the fastest adopted software technology in AMD history, with over 75 games available now or coming soon. Even though FSR was well received by game developers, press, and our community, AMD has not slowed down, and we've been continuously looking at new solutions to make your gaming experience even better. With the release of our latest AMD software Adrenaline Edition driver, gamers can now take advantage of our all-new Radeon Super Resolution technology, which is our in-driver upscaling feature powered by FSR. With Radeon Super Resolution, or as we like to call it, RSR, gamers can enable this feature across thousands of games, elevating their performance in titles that do not have FSR natively supported. RSR is simple to use and can be enabled in just 2 easy steps. Simply turn it on in AMD software, then go into your game and lower the in-game resolution to your desired setting. In this example, we're lowering our resolution from native 4K to 1440p, which is equivalent to the FSR quality preset. Once you apply your resolution, AMD software will automatically upscale and apply the algorithm to give you an instant performance boost. We ran RSR across these select titles that do not support FSR, and as you can see, depending on the resolution you pick, your performance can increase by as much as 3x. RSR is available now for Radeon RX 5000 and RX 6000 series discrete GPUs, with support for all Ryzen 6000 series processors for mobile coming in Q2 of 2022. But we haven't stopped there. We also have some great news in regards to our FSR technology. I'm extremely excited to announce that AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2.0, the next generation of our cutting-edge upscaling technology, is coming to games in the near future.
This new updated version will have drastic implications for 4K gameplay and should make it much easier to get Minecraft ray tracing on Xbox at a higher resolution without sacrificing any frame rates. In fact, it should increase frame rates in most cases.
Let's have a look at FSR 2.0 in action so that you can see these improvements yourself. One of the first games to get FSR 2.0 will be the award-winning Deathloop from our friends over at Arcane Studios and Bethesda. Here's FSR 2.0 in quality mode at 4K compared to both native resolution and FSR 1.0. As you can see, the image quality here is virtually identical to the native image. Here's a more challenging upscaling scenario. This time, Deathloop is running performance mode at 4K, and you can see FSR 2.0 produces superior image quality to FSR in this mode. In fact, in FSR 2's performance mode, at regular viewing distances, you can have a near native quality gaming experience while achieving faster frames. There's simply no denying, FSR 2 is amazing.
timing of ray tracing for Minecraft on the consoles and the release of FSR does correspond with one another, and since Fidelity FX 2.0 is slated for a holiday of 2022 release, chances are that we will probably see Minecraft ray tracing around that time as well. The beta program for this feature ran quite long on PC, and I do believe that we could see similar length of time on the Xbox consoles as well. Alternatively though, since it is already tested on PC, things might be smoother on consoles, and I think we are all hoping for that instead.